My name is Aston Crude.
Aston Crude is a good wrestler. If he wasn't a good wrestler, he wouldn't have made it to professional wrestling a few years ago. Out of everyone in the WCW, I reckon he's the most advanced wrestler. Like, he knows match psychology, he knows how to make his strikes look real, he knows pretty much the in and out of wrestling.
He does things that make people look like a star, and whether that is how he books them or how he puts them over, wrestling term, how he shows what they can do in the ring when he's wrestling the person. Look at Brian Lowe, okay? So he's now the current champion, WCW heavyweight champion. I don't think he would have got anywhere, like, majorly. He wouldn't have got that title reign unless he put in what he did with Aston. And Aston took Brian Lowe to new heights. And I haven't seen one person so set on his character, so determined to go out there and have a great match than him.
I feel I should leave it up to people whether they want to cheer me or boo me. Because, you know, I know when sometimes people are portraying a bad guy, people just boo because they have to. Because they know that that's what they have to do. But, you know, I feel I want to give people the option. You can cheer me if you want, you can boo me if you want. I'm still just going to act the same either way.
That's what I'm talking about! When I first started with Warzone and he came out and he was going to be the commissioner, I have to admit I was glad he took over booking because he understood wrestling and what was not, but I wasn't a major fan of it, him putting himself over as a champion, because, I mean, I think I just saw the power go into his head. But we got a massive talk at training one night, at EPW training, about giving people a chance. So I came back, you know, next event, and I went, alright, I'll give this guy a chance.
I was happy because it just took a bunch of pressure off my shoulders, I guess.
Well, when I booked myself to become the heavyweight champion of WCWA after only being there a few months in charge, I knew people weren't going to like the idea. But the fact is, I'm a 26-year-old man who's been backyard wrestling for 13 years. It makes sense that if my bad guy character becomes the on-screen character, he would give himself that opportunity. And if I'm wrestling a bunch of teenagers and early 20-something-year-olds, it's realistic that I would beat them up and win, you know? But the whole idea, I mean, when people gave me this criticism at the time, my response was just wait and see where it leads to and then you'll understand. The whole idea was, when I became the champion, was that this ultimate underdog that represented all of the young, smaller guys in the WCWA would rise up after I crushed a couple of them. He would rise up against me and defy the odds eventually, tell a convoluted story where it goes like this, and it's not just, you know, it's not just up and down, you know, it goes any way that you want it to go. It was just to tell a story in that way, where this ultimate underdog has saved the day for the WCWA. The big bad commissioner loses the championship, and that's what happened, and that's why Brian Lowe became the champion. To compare pro wrestling and backyard wrestling is like comparing an apple with an orange. Now, they're both fruit, so they're both the same kind of thing, but they're both completely different.
It's probably one of the most physically demanding things I've ever done. I mean, you do cardio every week, and then, you get in that ring and you bump constantly. I mean, I reckon I probably do over 100 bumps a week, both front, back and flip bumps, and it's probably, yeah, I'd just say it's one of the most physically and mentally draining things that I've ever done, and I love it, but yes, it does take a toll on you.
Now, with pro wrestling, you've got a business side of things to think about. So you've got fans, you've got insurance, you've got like a venue to worry about, you've got, you know, money to worry about, you've got where you're going to keep your ring, where are we going to train everyone, how much are we going to charge them to train with us, you know, there's a lot of different factors on the business end of things, and then you've got to deal with the booking side of things and what you're going to do with each character, each show, what you're going to do to get that fan to come back in the next show so you can make more money and grow your business. So basically pro wrestling is a business, backyard wrestling is a hobby. What a lot of pro wrestlers don't seem to understand is that we're not doing it to insult them or make wrestling look crap. We're doing it because we want to be able to do this without putting in the huge commitment of what pro wrestling needs. We want to be able to have fun with our friends, and I don't think we're because of it. We're just having fun. This is like a very interesting hobby in the world that no one really knows about.
Get your act together! Alright, fine, I'll yell.
Aston Crude is what Carlin Ferry would like to act like sometimes. So sometimes, you know, I could be frustrated with work, frustrated with life, frustrated with money, whatever. When I get to be Aston Crude, I get to be a complete to everyone. And there's no repercussions because everyone knows I'm in character. But it's like it's a release for me. Makes me feel better. And it's fun. And who wouldn't want to go out there and be like, shut your mouth, stick it up your ass? Who wouldn't love to do that and get away with it?
Due to the physical and mental toll it took on his body, Aston was unable to comment about the injury he sustained at the most recent wrestling event.
My match was next, so I was busy planning, but I just happened to look outside for a split second and I actually caught, it's pure, just crazy that I looked over just as he fell and I saw him fall and he hit the ground pretty damn hard. And I went, either he's broken something in his back or he's broken his neck, and I just went, you know what, and I was pretty much ready to call an ambulance because I'm pretty sure that's what he needed. And then out of nowhere, I saw this guy get up, literally grab the rope, the bottom rope, pull himself up, drag himself in the ring, and continue wrestling. The guy had ruptured a disc in his back, I believe, and he was still wrestling. I mean, now that has set him back and he isn't able to wrestle anymore after frostbite, but still he has done one of the most incredible things. He is, I think, to be honest, you know, we have many hardcore matches, we've seen people go through fire, stuff like that, but in a way, that was the best, like, moment in WZWA. I mean, it was the moment that scared the living out of us. I don't know if I can say that, but it scared us so much because we were so worried he'd done something so serious, and he did, and it's really hurt us that he's not going to be able to wrestle anymore, but it's great that he's still going to be around and still going to be part of the WZWA. He isn't just leaving for good, so yeah.
Do you want to say any last words?
I'm all about rock and roll and having sex with really hot